I'm Rachel Bush from rachelbushyoga.com.
And I'm Kathy Lucas from Moves to Inspire.
And we're here at Flora Farms Inn in Newfield, New York. If you're watching this video, you're either doing a cleanse or interested in doing a cleanse. In Ayurveda, which is the sister science to yoga, there are two main principles. The first principle is like attracts like. You may have noticed in the winter that it's cold. This has an effect on our body. When our bodies are cold, our metabolism slows down, and this makes us feel heavy and lethargic. We'll also be more apt to retain water or put on weight. Some of us are more prone to feeling this way, especially in the winter, but by the end of winter and the beginning of spring, all of us are going to feel a little cloudy, heavy, and just ready to break out of the stagnation of winter. This is why, at this time of year, it's a great idea to do a cleanse. The second principle in Ayurveda is when out of balance, apply the antidote. In Ayurveda, we talk about this quality in our body of being cold, damp, or heavy as being our Kapha dosha. Wintertime is also Kapha time of year. And so because the qualities are cold, damp, and heavy, we'll apply the qualities of heat, dryness, and lightness. So that means that we'll heat up the body with exercise, we'll try to go outside and be in the sun, and we'll eat food that is light and easy to digest. In our yoga practice, it's our attitude that's going to be the most powerful aspect of our practice. And so this is why, if we're doing an asana practice to balance our Kapha dosha or to break up the stagnation of winter, it's very important to have an attitude of lightheartedness and playfulness. And while we're using these aspects of lightheartedness and playfulness, that will look like changing our routine. So if you're doing a yoga practice and you do the same poses all the time, and you're feeling heavy and lethargic, you'll want to try something different, break up the routine. Or maybe you don't hold the poses as long, you'll flow, more of a vinyasa style of yoga. You might even play some music, some dance music, or burn some spicy incense. Make sure that you're smiling while you do the practice. Kapha dosha is not all bad. When Kapha is in balance, it has a quality of being stable. The Kapha dosha is the earth and water element, and the earth gives us this quality of being really stable. And when we're stable, we're confident. And it's that quality of confidence that helps us be at peace in our body, and when we're at peace, that's when we can be really lighthearted and playful. So in our asana practice, we'll have two main focuses to pacify Kapha while we're doing our cleanse. The first one is going to be drawing in towards the midline. And this is going to heat up the body, but it's also going to help us to feel stable in our poses so that we can be expressive and free. And that's the second quality, to be expansive and creatively expressive in our posture so that we don't get too heavy or serious about our yoga poses. We want to hug in the midline, heat up the body, and then let ourselves be free to play. Let's try it out. So if you're standing, take your feet about hip distance apart, the width of your bones right here, or even a little wider. Make a soft bend in your knees and relax. Trust yourself. On your inhale, press your feet into the floor as if you're dragging them together on your mat, but without letting your knees drop in. You hug in towards the midline and draw your energy in towards your core. It's just like the molten core of the earth. When you do this action in your legs, it'll make your pose really solid, but make sure that you don't just get solid and start moving like this. So now I'll do a jump switch in a lunge to show you this combination of being really solid in your pose, but also really free and playful. You can try it with me. Watch first. With one foot forward, same thing. I'm drawing from both feet in towards the core to make my legs really stable. So that's one action. And then the next action is to be playful and just go for it. Try it. Woo-hoo!
Even if it doesn't quite work out for you, you can do a little what I call doink doink. See, the tongue sticking out is important too. Be nice and playful. Have a fun time. You inhale, draw in, exhale, play, be free and have fun. Don't get too heavy. You can do it a couple times in a row. Good times.
Another way to pacify kapha in your asana practice is to flow through the poses in more of a vinyasa, and you can throw the jump switches in there. Use one deep breath per movement. Keep the stability of your legs, but let your upper body be free and playful. Nice deep breath. Stability, freedom. Stability, freedom. Inhaling, building heat. And then be crazy. Try something fun. Don't worry about it, just be nuts. Break up the routine of your postures. Hi, today we're going to work on a dance called sukus. And sukus is a Congolese form of club dancing. It's very fun, very playful. It has roots in Congo, but then there's also elements of rumba in it. And it actually in the past, I would say it was developed in the 40s and the 50s. And it was banned in the past because it's very sexy, sensual, playful. It's really sassy. So we're going to work on this type of dance because we're going to try and bring out those elements of energy, playfulness, sexiness, sassiness, to sort of break those ruts and that stagnation that we talked about earlier. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to establish your foundation. So you want to soften your knees, you want to feel your feet on the floor, but you don't want to hold too much tension in your quads, or you want to be so rigid, right? We're really looking at trying to open up, relax, be playful, breathe, right? So the first thing we want to do is feel our feet on the floor, soften the knees. Maybe put your hands on your belly just to establish the connection to your core. And from here, I want you just to work on just circling the hips as you normally would in a warm-up or a dance class, right? Okay. Let's do that a couple of times, 3 or 4 times, and then we'll go the other direction. Just notice what it feels like to have your hands on your pelvis when you take the circle. How deep the range can be, or maybe isn't. Okay, 4 or 5 times around. And then relax your arms at your sides. And then I want you to just notice that when you take the circle around without bending your knees, so keeping it nice and straight, or well, straight and locked up, what that does to the circle and what that does to the rest of your body, and how difficult it is to be playful in that space, right? Okay, so we want to be able to lock in the center, the core, but we want to be able to soften the knees and actually allow the knees to move front and back, isolating the hips. You want to keep your shoulders pointed straight ahead, so you're squaring off the torso and just isolating the hips. And this is the base for every sukus move, okay? So softening the knees, and then eventually when you start to feel comfortable with it, you can actually start to move the knees outward as you circle, okay? But here's the first step of the actual combination. So we're going to start with the hips just moving right and left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you got to add a little attitude to it. So this kind of doesn't really work with what we're trying to prove about how kapha, yoga, and dance can work together. Relax, let it go. Take your arm up. And let's call everyone in. 3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 counts, 8. Just to keep in mind that this is not the hip circle that we were talking about earlier, but there is a part of the circle that is actually in that movement. It's just moving back to side to your diagonals. Back, back. Right? Think of a smile, like you're making a smile from one edge corner of your mouth to the other. We're keeping this nice and still, right? It's all about the hips. So 2 8s there. Then we'll go on to the next piece. And the next one is we'll go into the circle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to pop the heels and pop the knees. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So we'll put the 2 together. So we have, I'll face the back. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you want to be playful about it, jump on 8, turn around. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. All right, so we move on to the third step. We're going to actually step with the right and tuck the pelvis forward and back. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's goofy, it's playful. Have a good time with it. It's not something that you have to take seriously. Try not to judge it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, staying grounded and centered. And when you take that right foot forward, I'm going to pop my heels. The knees are an accessory to this. So, step, pop. Set your feet down. Step, pop. Step, pop. Step, pop. I'm shifting my weight right and left. That's going to help. So, right, 2, 3, 4. Along with that, there's a whole thing going on in the hips, right? So 1, 2, pop, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've moved forward for 8 counts with the step. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My left foot is slightly forward. Now I'm going to take my right foot back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So I'm here after that third step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice and light. A lot of activity here. Get there, get in there, right? Okay. So let's put 1, 2, 3, and 4 together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the last step. We're going to step forward, 1, 2, 1, 2, and hips back. 3, 4. So 1, 2, hips. 1, 2, hips. 1, 2, hips. 1, 2, hips. This is the whole thing.